Hey, what's up, you guys? Bloody Jacob here to bring you my weekly review.
Hey, what's up, you guys? Bloody Jacob here, meeting my icon, Catherine Isabel here.
Across the streams of hopes and dreams where things are really not. Come along if you can. Come along if you dare.
Have a good one. Cheers, guys.
Side of your mind, but please realize you'll probably be surprised.
Hey, what's up, you guys? Bloody Jacob here to bring you my review of this week's episode of The 100 on the CW, which is episode 3 of season 5, Sleeping Giants, but also going to be talking about the fact that The 100 has gotten renewed for season 6. And that's right, guys, it just came out this past week that The 100 has officially been renewed for a 6th season by the CW, so no need to worry, we're going to be getting more of Clark and the crew for at least another season to come, so I'm very happy to hear about that. If you guys had been in line at all, yesterday especially, there's just like a slew of, cancellations left and right. Especially with Fox and everything like that, so that's a separate thing, but iZombie was luckily renewed as well, which I need to kind of get back on, but I was especially happy to hear that The 100 is indeed getting another season. The 100, it's going to end up being one of my all-time favorite shows. I know it already kind of is. I've loved it since the first season, and I think ever since then it's just gotten kind of steadily bigger and better and more mature with its storytelling and the direction I think it's going in right now. It's actually probably the smartest and, again, most mature area I've seen him touch on. I'm very, very pleased with it right now, and with the 6th season I'm very eager to see what they're going to do, because I remember at least a few years ago or so, the developer Jason Rothenberg, he had said he had plans for if it went 4 seasons, he had plans for if it went 5, and so on. So I'm happy, he has an idea in mind for however long it's able to go. But with it getting a 6th season, I think, will it be the last one? I don't know. I think it could be. But either way, I think it has a lot of life left in it, and I think the CW is kind of showing that they're going to let it end when it chooses to, or at least give it, actual closure, which is nice. But we don't know if it's the last one yet, but a 6th season renewal tells me that, I think it's in good hands for its run. If it goes on another few seasons after that, I don't want it to turn into The Walking Dead, which is by itself a bit dry. But either way, I think The 100 has more life and energy left in it. In this episode, Sleeping Giants, it keeps up the momentum that Season 5 has been building so far. I'm really loving Season 5. We have, of course, people are probably happy about the whole Bellark, Clark and Bellamy reunion at the end of the episode. But I just thought the whole episode was really good. From Bellamy, Raven, and the others, along with Echo and Murray and Monty, finding all the prisoners in cryosleep and everything like that, just, looking through some of the logs and seeing that, the original people running the ship were eventually, kind of taken over by the prisoners aboard. And that's who Ivana Malesevic's character is, one of the lead ones there. Who, again, I'm very happy to have on the show. She recently played Selena Kyle's mother on Gotham, but more importantly to me, she was also one of the leads on Banshee. And I already think she's a very nice addition. So I like the fight scene with the big prisoner that had gotten out. Of course, Bellamy, he's tough, he has a lot of heart, but he's a pretty big dude, so Bellamy has some trouble with him. And I like how much Echo came in handy there, with all her training and her skill with the sword and everything. She gets a pretty good, stab through the guy's gut. I think that's definitely kind of what, settled the guy down, so to speak. Then Bellamy is sort of able to, put him out after that. So I like that quite a bit. And then, I always look at Den of Geeks reviews, and they said it too, that this episode is basically another great combination of what makes 100 so good. I mean, he had some really good fight scenes in this episode. Like I said, with the prisoner, then he had, Clark picking off another couple of the prisoners on the ground before getting taken. Maybe before sort of luring them away from, her, daughter, right? And then at the same time, he had those, types of, physical stuff, but then he also had, the morally complex situation of what to do with these prisoners, almost 300 of them. Murphy thinks they should just kill them, stop it before it ever becomes a problem, so they never even have a chance for reinforcements. Of course, they've been in tons of situations like this before, so Bellamy, and he's not really too keen on killing another 300 or so people, just like that. It's a dark parallel to, what else has happened in the show before. So I like the back and forth with that, but eventually they end up using him as a bargaining chip, which I think was the smartest play. Because they were able to get to the ground, but Raven, she lets herself stay behind, for the good of them. She tells Bellamy there's an escape pod, but there's not. Murphy stayed back with her to give her some company, but he thought there was an escape pod too, so now Murphy's screwed. But I do think Raven and Murphy are both going to find some way to the ground at some point this season, maybe just give it a few episodes. I was also pleased that they didn't keep Bellamy and everyone else in space, for the majority of the season, and, it only took a couple episodes to, get them back down to the ground, which I think was sort of the best. And, I like the scene with, Clark and Ivana Malosevic's character. I don't really have her name in my head right now, but, first Clark is just completely, silent, and I like that Ivana Malesevic was able to read all the signs, what she's trying to do, track their movements, where they're at, and stuff like that, and sort of take her little ticks and, figure out that she's, protecting someone. It's, of course, not an army, but it's someone out there that she's trying to keep hidden away. Eventually Clark agrees to, tell her what happened on Earth, if they leave her alone. She eventually calls off the fire. And so Ivana Malesevic asks how the world ended, and Clark says which time. And then by the time we get back to them and they're interrupted, it's basically at the time of season 3 alley. So Clark basically explained the first 2 seasons. And I think Bellamy had a great moment at the end where he came out with the trigger, and that was one of Bellamy's best moments in a while. I think he's really kind of put himself back up there since the whole I forget his name, but the black guy from season 3. I might still forgetting his name. Michael Beach's character. Okay, it's bugging me now. Yeah, Pike. Okay, there we go. But yeah, I think Bellamy hopefully has won himself over with fans again, at least for the most part. So yeah, this is just a really good episode. Like I said, I had the action, I had the character-driven, sort of moral situations. And the 100 season 5 continues to be off to a really hot start. I think it's even better than season 4 so far, and season 4 is pretty good too. It's always pretty good, so I'm really happy with it right now. I'm giving this episode about around like 9.3, 9.5, somewhere in there. So yeah, let me know what you guys thought about that, how you feel about getting a 6th season. Do you want to go further than that, or do you think 6 will be enough? Either way, just tell me about how happy you are, and bring up anything else about the episode, and we'll talk more about it for sure. So yeah, follow me on Facebook, Twitter, subscribe, Instagram as well, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.